Good morning, guys. So, welcome to the very last day of our Moses story. When we're finished today, your board game will be completely finished. We'll have all of the squares and all of the cards and all of the extra pieces, and you'll be able to start playing it. But first, of course, we need to get through today's story. And today's story is Moses and the Israelites are camped out, and God tells them that I have a place for you to live, your promised land. But if you're going to live there, there are certain rules that you have to follow. Very important rules. So Moses writes them down on a stone tablet and has all 10 rules. And we're going to talk about those rules today because they're kind of important and we should still be following them. So settle in and let's read our story. So today we're going to read from the Bible, the book of Exodus, chapter 20. God spoke these words to the Israelites. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. You shall have no other gods but me. You shall not bow down to images or worship them. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all of your work, but on the seventh day you shall not do any work. Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor. These are the laws that are set before you. Thanks be to God. Alrighty, so here we are, that part of the day where I ask you questions and you think really hard about them so that you can use your newfound knowledge to finish off those last couple squares and last couple cards of your board game. So, my questions for you today, we're going to start with, are there any words in that story that you didn't understand? Because I know there's some big words in there, so do not hesitate to ask. You can ask me. You can ask your adult in the house. And we will gladly explain to you what that means and let you understand the story a little bit better. Next, what in that story is really worth remembering? And do we still follow these rules today? Should we follow these rules? Are they really as important as they were back then? Think about it. Alright folks, here we are. Here's our board game and here's the amount of space we have left. Now we've got a couple of things we're going to do today. First is the obvious one. Fill in your square. And I think I'm going to think about the fact that God gave all of these rules to the Israelites because he believed that they could follow them. They were going to do a good job. So I'm going to make mine here and say, so my spot says, God gives you new rules. Draw an extra card. So when you land on that spot, you gotta pick a card. Now, the other thing we have to do today is there are no spots on this board that says pick up a card. So I want you to go back starting at the start, and pick a couple of spots to say, hey, pick up a card. There you go. So I've got a couple of them. Here, 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 and here. So when you land on those spots, that's when you pick up our all-important cards. Which means we need to get ourselves some cards. My first card today, I'm going to think about God gave 10 rules, 10 commandments. So I'm going to think about counting to 10. So my card says, count backwards from 10 to finish this card. For my next card today, I am going to call it important to remember. So my card says, name one of the 10 commandments to finish this card. So all those rules we talked about today, don't forget them. So they're going to help you in my version of this game. Now I've said it before, but don't forget to protect your cards by sliding them into the plastic. This way you can play it over and over and over again without any of the cards getting ripped. Oh dear. There we go. And add them to your big pile, which is now complete. So now we're back to our board, and we got a little bit of space left to decorate. So I'm going to draw my tablets that had the rules written on them. So now that your board is fully colored and completely ready to play, there's one more thing in your bag for today, and that is game pieces. They are for you to play with your friends or your parents. They go in your box, so don't lose them. And you've completed your game. How's that feel? Well, look at that, guys. You now have a fully finished board game, and it's all tucked nicely in your box. So don't lose anything. Make sure you keep it in a safe place. I would love to play them with you when we're allowed back into normal Sunday school classes. Because I'd love to see what your finished products looks like. And if you have pictures, send them to me, because I have loved seeing your progress pictures. So for now, we're going to say our prayer on your little slip, and we're going to say goodbye for today. And next week, we're going to start... No, not next week. Next week is movie day. But after that, we're going to start looking into some Christmas stuff, because it's that time of year, and, well, what can I say? I love Christmas. So, settle in, and let's read our prayer for today. Dear God, we have heard your rules, and we promise to do our best to follow them. Please remind us when we start to forget. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next week.